In the morning when I'm driving, I really come alive when I listen to my Ronnie, I listen to my Ronnie Q. They are rare and they are few who can compare with Ronnie Q. So grab a chair, she's coming through. She's on the air, it's time for Ronnie Q. They are rare and they are few who can compare with Ronnie Q. So grab a chair, she's coming through. She's on the air, it's time for Ronnie Q. Ronnie Q. It's time for Ronnie Q. Ronnie Q. It's time for Ronnie Q. In the morning while I'm driving, Ronnie Q. I really come alive when it's time for Ronnie Q. I listen to my Ronnie. Ronnie Q. I listen to my Ronnie. It's time for Ronnie Q. Take a seat and go meet Ronnie. Sweet, 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 sweet Ronnie. No day complete without my Ronnie. She can't be beat. Sweet, sweet Ronnie.
Grand Rising, Grand Rising, Grand Rising. Thank you guys for being here. Please hit the like button. Hold on one second. Please hit the like button. I thank you guys for being here this morning. I got a couple of things that I want to talk to you about. Not a lot of stuff this morning. We're still waiting on that big bombastic bullshit bill to pass. Okay, Tebe Forever. Nappy Child, thank you for being here. Grand Rising Foot Soldier. Tanya McNeil, it's good to see you. Detach Myself. Grand Rising, good to see you. And T. Danielle, thank you guys for stopping by. It is always good to see you guys in the chat. Please like and share. I would greatly appreciate it. So, we know we are waiting on this a bill to pass. Now, Elon Musk has come out. Elon Musk, we're going to pretend like didn't want to take people's jobs away and reveled in over firing people that they even had to hire back in the government. So now Elon Musk has come out and said that whoever votes for this big, beautiful bill, he will make sure with everything that is in him that they will lose their next primary, because he will have somebody primary them. And if this bill passes, we need to think of making a third party candidacy. Now, he's talking about all the job loss that will this bill will cause. Okay, so are we to believe that Peter Thiel cares about jobs? Call your senators. Call your senators, but call these senators who are really on board with this big, beautiful bill. Because what kills me now, Elon Musk is talking about he's going to put in candidates to primary anybody who votes on this big beautiful bill. We saw how Elon Musk put his money behind 4547. So he thought that that was the formula. But what happened in Wisconsin when Elon Musk took all that money to Wisconsin and even had a lotto where he allegedly gave, I think it was three people or two people, $1 million for, in quotation marks, voting. It was to vote for the Republican candidate. We are clear on that because that's who he was pushing. But that Republican candidate lost. So I want us to understand that apart from what anybody says, anybody who votes on this big, beautiful bill, and after the public has to live within what is in this big, beautiful bill, I don't see how anybody would vote these people in who voted for this big, beautiful bill. So I think that is, and now 4547 has come out and said that he is thinking about having Doge review all of Elon Musk's contracts. Well, why would you have Doge review all of Elon Musk's contracts when you gave him carte blanche to go through our government and destroy it and to look for waste, fraud, and abuse? You mean to tell me now you want to look for waste, fraud, and abuse in Elon Musk's government contract, but you didn't ask Elon Musk, is there any way you can cut back on the things that you're doing in your contract? Only now that your big, beautiful bill, something that I think that is the only thing he plans to accomplish in his whole presidency, and he plans to call it in and play golf for the rest of the 3.5 years he has left in office. This, okay. So now he wants Elon Musk contracts to be reviewed. So let me tell you something. If there is only one thing that you can do beyond not voting to put him in office in the first place, I, in my opinion, it is time to let these senators know who are on the fence. Mitch McConnell actually came out and said, well, I know you guys are hearing from your constituents, but they're just going to have to get used to it about the Medicaid cuts, and they're just going to have to get used to it. They'll just get used to it. So cavalier about people losing their health care. So I don't see how anybody would vote anybody back in office who voted for this, but people are dumb. People are sheep. People follow the crowd. So uh, be damned with how it affects their lives. Let me see what you guys are saying. After he had employees terminated, Grand Rising, Mia C. Hey Bernice, Grand Rising, it is good to see you. 4547 sold out government information to Musrat, and he bought 4547, the White House. Yes, that's exactly what happened. That is exactly what happened. So now, I say to you, hold on one second. Now I say to you, call the Senate. That this is the phone line for the Senate, just in case anyone is inclined to call them and let them know, hey, we are the people. We are the people with the vote. We don't give a fuck what Elon Musk has in store, because he was part and parcel of many United States citizens are losing their job, and he reveled in it. So we understand that Elon Musk is not talking about anything that's going to affect me and how I live my life, but you signing this bill will. It's just Elon Musk think he is has all power, and so we're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into all of these billionaires who think that they have the master plan for us broke people in America, and we're gonna fall for it. We're gonna help them do it. So yeah, that's the office. If you guys are inclined to call and make your voices heard. So now we have seen what the muskrat has been up to, and I've been talking about Peter Thiel for a while. Peter Thiel was the one who financed J.D. Vance's uh, Senate run. Okay, so let's get into Peter Thiel. Peter Thiel just got $1 billion contract to for his Palantir Palantir creation. To He's going to merge the CIA, uh, the IRS, all defense contracts, and all of this type of stuff in the United States. And they're paying him and giving him all of our information as well. And now you understand Peter Thiel and Elon Musk were the co-creators of PayPal. So they go way, way, way back. They go way back. Okay. So these two people have been given, and they both are big in AI. So these two people have been giving all of our information. And Peter Thiel's big thing is working with the Defense Department with his defense contracts that he's getting. And what's troubling about all of this, if you knew the mindset of the person who they have given all of this leeway to, uh, keep you safe. They say that most white people, all they care about is their security and their safety. That why do you think that they always try to present other people as criminals, and they're going to hurt you? And why do you think Republicans win so quickly with all of these illegals? They're coming over here to hurt you, and this, that, and the other. Why do you think that was a win? Why do you think that was such a win? Because they care about their security. They don't care about their security when it's them shooting up movie theaters, school, and all this stuff. Oh, well, they just had mental illness. See, they are secure in their own violence. But anything else? Oh, it's horrible. Oh, we gotta have 3 strikes laws. Oh, everything's so horrible. Okay, so let's get into Peter Thiel, shall we? Hey, Sandy, Grand Rising. Peter Thiel recently did an interview, and the interviewer asked him if what did he believe about humanity. I really want to play that for you. Okay, all my links will be in the description box. Let me share what Peter Thiel had to say about humanity. And then we're going to go back and let you understand some of his other thinkings. Let me see. Oh, here it is. I apologize.
I suffered through Ross Douthat's interview with Peter Thiel because I'm a sick person. And there's one clip that's been going around. And in case you guys haven't had this, just the experience of being able to listen to this moment, I want to share it with all of you.
You would prefer the human race to endure, right? You're hesitating.
Yeah, well,
yes.
I don't know. I would.
And This is a long hesitation. This is a long hesitation.
There's so many questions implicit
Should
in this.
the human race survive?
Yeah.
Some really hard-hitting journalism from Ross Doubt there. Ross gets some slings and arrows around these parts, but he's asking the tough questions. Do you want the human race to endure? Peter Thiel. It seems like basically the answer is no, but he doesn't want to say it. So he comes around to yes after 30 seconds. This is the man that made it, that set the vice president in place.
Okay, so there's that first link. So he's not even sure if mankind is good enough to continue. He doesn't know if it is even worth having mankind continue. But there's a certain type of people that these tech oligarchs think are worthy to populate and continue living in their best life. They just want to rid the world of all you other type of people, it appears to me. Let me see. Now, no comments? Have you guys seen this interview? So we're going to go into this interview a little more. And I want you to understand some of the thinkings of Peter Thiel. Peter Thiel is of the mindset that, hey, if you date, grape a woman and you have to pay her out a settlement, can it really be considered grape then? This is the person, the mindset. And let's not forget that the muskrat feel like you should have Neuralink in your head. See, they don't believe that mankind made by God is sufficient enough. They feel like we should be on another plane by now. Like, we're stagnant in our development as a people, so therefore technology is the answer. And technology put it inside of us and all of this type of stuff. We're stagnant. We haven't progressed beyond any type of technology that they can create and implant in us to make us our better selves. Here we go. No, that's not it. Here we are. Here are some of his early writings. Just listen to what he thought. This is in October 2011.
Circles called The End of the Future. And what he essentially argues in this piece is that the current moment has disappointed people whose vision of the future was one of great and fast-paced technological progress, basically arguing that we had hit kind of a snag as a civilization because we don't have the flying cars that were promised to us in movies like Back to the Future 2, which, yes, he actually did mention by name. Shows you the level of sophistication that we're ultimately dealing with here. Modern Western civilization, I'm going to read a little bit just so you get the gist of this. Modern Western civilization stands on the twin plinths of science and technology. Taken together, these two interrelated domains reassure us that the 19th century story of never-ending progress remains intact. Without them, the arguments that we are undergoing cultural decay, ranging from the collapse of art and literature after 1945 to the soft...
Okay, so he doesn't see any advancements in art and literature beyond 1945. And no other way, 1988, even the FBAs are out here hollering and crying for illegals to be given things that were put in the Constitution just for us. I'm happy that the racist Trump cares for us, even when we hate ourselves. The racist Trump doesn't care about us. The racist Trump said that there are black jobs. And the racist Trump is trying to. Did you hear what Sonia Sotomayor said about this decision that the Supreme Court just ruled on regarding not being able to have a blanket, not immunity, not being able to have to put out blanket injunctions on things that 4547 has implemented in his executive orders. No judge can make a nationwide injunction on those things. See, these are things they haven't decided on the constitutionality of it. They're going to take that up in their next course. They haven't touched on that. They haven't even said that if this thing is constitutional. But what they did say is that it's going to have to be decided on a person by person going to court and proving their case. And if they win their case, they're just an individual that has won their case. They can't tell you if it's constitutional or not. So what it means is that he can continue to do something that is unconstitutional. This is against the 14th Amendment, no matter what you think about it. See, you don't have to think about it for them. See, because they overwhelmingly voted him in. See, I'm thinking about it for me. And so birthright citizenship has something to do with the slaves that what are we going to do with them when they freed the slaves? And they wondered what they were going to do with us. See, that's very important to understand. So if 4547 decides tomorrow, well, it should include black people as well. You have no protection. The Supreme Court wants to let this linger out here so this man can do whatever he wants to until he and the Supreme Courts are the only people who are able to say, oh no, you've gone a little too far. So in her dissension, Sonia Sotomayor said that no rights is safe in the new legal regime of that the courts create. That's what she said. She said, based upon what they did with birthright citizenship, that means no rights are safe. No constitutional rights are safe. So there's that. Okay, let's go back to Peter Thiel and his thinkings. Okay, here we go.
Totalitarianism of political correctness in media and academia to the sordid worlds of reality television and popular entertainment would gather far more force. Liberals often assert that science and technology remain essentially healthy. Conservatives sometimes counter that these are false utopias. But the two sides of culture wars silently agree that the accelerating development and application of the natural sciences continues apace. Indeed, the unique history of the West proves the exception to the rule that most humans through the millennia have existed in a naturally brutal, unchanging, and impoverished state. But there is no law that the exceptional rise of the West must continue. So we could do worse than to include.
So there's who's to say that the rise of the West should continue? Yet they have all of their business interests, they have all of their political interests staked out in the West. Let's continue.
Inquire into the widely held opinion that America is on the wrong track and has been for some time, to wonder whether progress is not doing as well as advertised, and perhaps to take exceptional measures to arrest and reverse any decline. If meaningful scientific and technological progress occurs, then we reasonably would expect greater economic prosperity though this may be offset by other factors. Well, that
Yeah, of course it's going to be offset. How are we going to expect meaningful scientific and tech, technological process? How are we going to expect greater economic prosperity when that technological process is eliminating people's jobs via this AI? But that could be offset by other factors than you're creating things that is going to take people's jobs. But you're not saying that in 2011. But you are saying that the society is so far behind that you really want to give up on them.
that is the rub, is it not? Those other factors. So meaningful scientific and technological progress has occurred in the AI realm, but it has not resulted in greater economic prosperity. It's resulted in greater economic prosperity for the Ubermensch, like Peter Thiel, who have the unique skill set of being able to manipulate this technology. But if anything, it has created a crisis of labor, a crisis of prosperity for the masses. And so I think he may have seen that coming enough to put that parenthetical there, though this may be offset by other factors. And also in reverse, if economic gains as measured by certain key indicators have been limited or non-existent, then perhaps so has scientific and technological progress. Therefore, to the extent that economic growth is easier to quantify than scientific or technological progress, economic numbers will contain indirect but important clues to our larger investigation. So I just wanted to read a little bit of that as precursor to this interview that he gave to Ross Douthat of the New York Times. That awkward.
Okay, so let me get to this interview. This is the winning Peter Thiel in his own words.
Backstory to see where this genius is coming from.
You have been giving talks recently about the concept of the Antichrist, which is a Christian concept, an apocalyptic concept. What does that mean to you? What is the Antichrist?
How much time do we have?
We've got as much time as you have to talk about the Antichrist.
All right. Well, I could talk about it for a long time. I think there's always a question. How do we articulate, some of these existential risks, some of the challenges we have, and they're all framed in this sort of runaway dystopian science text. There's a risk of nuclear war. There's a risk of environmental disaster, maybe something specific like climate change, although there are lots of other ones we could come up with. There's a risk of, bioweapons. You have all the different sci-fi scenarios. Obviously, there are certain types of risks with AI. But I always think that if we're going to have this frame of talking about existential risks, perhaps we should also talk about the risk of another type of a bad singularity, which I would describe as the one world totalitarian state. Because I would say the political solution, the default political solution people have for all these existential risks is one world governance. And so the atheist.
Okay, so we're going to also go into his beliefs about politics and the political solution. Now, understand, he has all of this to say about the political solution, that this one world doctrine. If there's a nuclear warhead that ruins the planet, everybody's going to be on this one world. What the fuck are you talking about, motherfucker? Do they drug test these motherfuckers? Just because they are creating a alternative universe that they want to put upon everybody? Wait a minute. You cannot cope in the actual real world, so therefore everybody has to buy into your created man-made created world that soothes your fucking feelings and emotions. We're gonna go put a pin in what he's talking about, his political beliefs, because this is a South African who had came over here and set a JD Vance. I've talked about J.D. Vance and Peter Thiel, and I've also talked about J.D. Vance, Peter Thiel being influenced by Curtis Yarvin. So we're gonna look at if he doesn't believe in the political process, why is he in all of his business models implanted in these political arenas? Why is it then? Is it to support our political leaders, or is it to extort from the people? You already said that you already heard him that Western civilization, is on the decline, and who's to say that we are to continue? Let's continue.
Philosophical framing is one world or none. That was a short film that was put out by the Federation of American Scientists in the late 40s. Starts with a nuclear bomb blowing up the world, and obviously you need a one world government to stop it. One world or none. And the Christian framing, which in some ways is the same question, is Antichrist or Armageddon. You have the one world state of the Antichrist, or we're sleepwalking towards Armageddon. One world or none, Antichrist or Armageddon, on one level are the same question. Now, I have a lot of thoughts on this topic, but
I have a lot of thoughts on this topic, and because I'm very rich, no one feels.
I have a lot of thoughts on this topic, but I'm not going to share. I'm not going to share what I really feel about this topic. But if motherfuckers stay asleep, they will not see what I feel about this topic as I invade their governments and their militaries. Let's get back. This link is going to be in my description box. They are talking. I'm going to get back to Peter Thiel talking. Here we go. Let's go.
And that's exactly the way I felt. Anything before we go on, or do you want to hear more? Is the jury still out?
Go on.
All right.
But sort of one question is, and this was a plot hole in all these Antichrist books people wrote. How does the Antichrist take over the world? He gives these demonic, hypnotic speeches, and people just fall for it. And so it's this plot hole. It's this daemonium.
Right. It's implausible.
It's a very implausible plot hole.
Right.
But I think we have an answer to this plot hole. The way the Antichrist would take over the world is
Of course you have the answer, because you're given the plot hole.
Talk about Armageddon nonstop. You talk about existential risk.
And who brought up Armageddon? He did. Let's continue. When you talk about existential risk, you tell people that they are not going to be safe and they will fall in line.
Nonstop. And this is what you need to regulate. It's the opposite of the picture of Baconian science from the 17th, 18th century.
And this is what you need to regulate. And therefore, here he comes with his ability to intercede in wars and keep people safe. So who's the Antichrist?
Where, the Antichrist is like some evil tech genius, evil scientist who invents this machine.
Oh, like you? Oh, so would that be you? Let's continue.
Take over.
It's an inverse of most people think of the Antichrist as like guys like me, but I'm telling you, actually, it's those people who are the Antichrist. Like, for example.
Now, wait until you hear who he feels is the Antichrist. You remember that little boat that they had that they were trying to sell to Palestine? Her name was, I think, Greta. I forget her last name. He said that she is more of an Antichrist figure. Now, she was going over there trying to give aid to the Palestinian people, and they captured their boat. I think it was about 2 weeks ago. I think she's like 19 years old. She's always has been a young activist. That's who he says. That's who this man, who has drones and intelligence that led. It was called Cold Lavender, that led the Israelis to where groups of Palestinians were trying to hide for their safeties, and that drone led them straight to these people, and they were bombed upon. But he says that this Gretchen chick,
Greta Thunberg.
World, people are way too scared for
Greta Thunberg.
In our world, the thing that has political resonance is the opposite. It is the thing that has political resonance is we need to stop science. We need to just say stop to this. And this is where, I don't know, in the 17th century, I can imagine a Dr. Strangelove, Edward Teller type person taking over the world. In our world, it's far more likely to be Greta Thunberg.
Yeah.
He
actually said
is
that,
on
yes,
the verge of establishing a totalitarian
Greta
dystopia.
Thunberg is at the doorstep of consolidating a one world government, says the man whose business partner essentially took over the government already, Elon Musk, former business partner, and whose protege is the vice president.
Yeah.
You're gonna it's Greta Thunberg who's taking.
Okay. Let me. Do you see how ridiculous this man sound? Just a little bit more. They don't cover the whole interview. Okay.
Very specific question for you, right? Is that you're an investor in AI. You're deeply invested in Palantir, in military technology, in technologies of surveillance, and technologies of warfare, and so on, right? And it just seems to me that when you tell me a story about the Antichrist coming to power and using the fear of technological change to sort of impose order on the world, I feel like that Antichrist would maybe be using the tools that you were building, right? Like, wouldn't the Antichrist be like, great, we're not going to have any more technological progress, but I really like what Palantir has done.
Look at that smile on his face. Look at him. He's like, yeah, I'm going.
Okay, so let me see answer. Okay, here we go.
The irony of history would be that the man publicly worrying about the Antichrist accidentally hastens his or her arrival.
There are all these different.
Malfunction. Here comes
I mean.
And this man is taken seriously. This man is taken seriously. A man who got a kickstart his brain when he's when he's asked straight up questions that gets around the bullshit. See, he's not used to people questioning the bullshit he says. He's just used to people absorbing it and telling him, "Oh, how right you are. Oh, I understand. Oh, you're so intelligent." So when somebody kicks back how silly he sounds, and it sounds like he's describing, he said Greta what is her name? Thunberg is could be the next Antichrist. A child who is a child activist who is just trying to bring attention to people like him and the things that he's done, and try to put some more humanity in the earth by trying to take food and medical equipment to a region that is being ignored as war crimes are committed upon it. He said that she is closer to the Antichrist. Okay, let's continue.
Honestly, that was very like very Spinal Tap.
Yeah.
Well, but couldn't you be the Antichrist?
Couldn't you be the Antichrist? Like he's looking at the ants.
What? No. I don't think you understand. Greta Thunberg is the Antichrist.
Yes, Greta. No, I said Greta Thunberg's the Antichrist. But what if you are? No, it's her. It's her.
No, it's her.
It's her.
Clearly.
There are all these different scenarios. I obviously don't think that that's what I'm doing.
I mean, to be clear, I don't think that's what you're doing either. I'm just interested in how you get to a world willing to submit to permanent authoritarian rule.
Well, but again, there are these different gradations of this we can describe, but
well, describe them. Well, describe them.
Is this
Rich
so
man spewing
preposterous, what I
bullshit.
just told
No one
you,
challenges me.
as a broad account of the
gradations.
stagnation that the entire world has submitted for 50 years to peace and safetyism? This is 1 Thessalonians 5:3, the slogan of the Antichrist.
So this is why I read you some excerpts of that article, because he reverts back to this. Okay, well, wouldn't you agree that there's been a stagnation,
Peace and safetyism. Okay, I'm going to go beyond what they're talking about
in Gaza? And this guy is acting like, you would every American, and to help the most powerful country and military in the world kill people in Gaza. And this guy is acting like, surely you would agree there are oppressive one world government forces that are holding me back. Right? Like, surely we can both agree on that.
The stagnation.
I just want to get this piece about stagnation, because that's essentially what he's saying.
Is this so preposterous, what I've just told you,
Yes.
as a broad account of the stagnation that the entire world has submitted for 50 years to peace and safetyism? This is 1 Thessalonians 5:3. The slogan of the Antichrist is peace and safety, because and we've submitted.
All right, that's what...
Okay, all right. Now,
I have no idea what the slogan of the Antichrist is. This link is in my description box. I forget the name of the interviewer. They say his name, but I've never heard of him. What is this? Do the sun say? I don't know. I don't know this interviewer. But maybe you can get the information there if you want to watch the whole thing. Hey, Queen Diva. Kimberly Black, it is good to see you. Grand Rising, ladies. That part about being rich, he can buy anyone and say anything and be any creation in his mind. Grand Rising, Miss Toby, it is good to see you. Okay, so let's break this down about Peter Thiel. I think I'll show you this one. He wants to replace a democracy with a CEO dictator. This is more about Peter Thiel. So you can that shit that he said about elected officials and the government. Let's hear what he has been saying in the past. Here we go. Why is it important? Because this man has all of our information and is creating warfare. And it is creating warfare for the United States government under a president who has our soldiers on our city streets. And nothing has been done about it. The Supreme Court has told him that he can use the military on the streets. You should be very afraid. You don't have to be afraid. I'm just giving you information. Do it as you.
I'm going to play you a short clip, and just bear with me, and I'll get into why it's so important.
You need a CEO, and a national CEO is what's called a dictator. If Americans want to change their government, they're going to have to get over the dictator phobia.
That was blogger and political philosopher Curtis Yarvin. Yarvin is either...
And if you don't know, I played that clip for you during the election cycle. But I guess people don't have time to understand. This is who J.D. Vance was quoting in an interview that he was so fond of. Let's hear what he said again. We need to get over our addiction.
I'm going to play you a short clip.
Dictatorship.
Just bear with me, and I'll get into why it's so important.
You need a CEO, and a national CEO is what's called a dictator. If Americans want to change their government, they're going to have to get over the dictator phobia.
That was blogger and political philosopher Curtis Yarvin. Yarvin is either prophetic or incredibly powerful, because let's look at this blog post he wrote over 10 years ago. He suggested a government that would, quote, retire all government employees and create a heavily armed, ultra-profitable corporation that will smash the universities, sell the public schools, and transfer decivilized populations to secure relocation facilities. That sounds pretty familiar, right? These ideas have gotten him some influential fans, like Peter Thiel, co-founder of PayPal and Palantir, whose founders fund invested in Yarvin's tech startup, Urbit. You may have seen my other video where Thiel says
technology is this incredible alternative to politics.
Vice President J.D. Vance is also a...
He said what? What did Peter Thiel say? Technology is a what? A substitute for politics? Who needs politics when we got technology to keep the people in line? Let's continue.
Yarvin head. He once called him a cool guy.
Who gives a fuck about your vote? Your vote don't mean nothing because you mean nothing. We want to contain you, and we're going to do whatever we want to do. Do you understand who is all up in our government agencies and information and being paid to do it? And do you understand why nobody is talking about all the jobs that are going to be lost, all the jobs that has been lost under Peter Thiel's partner who created PayPal, Elon Musk? Do you wonder why? They don't plan on you living no American dream. They plan on, in my opinion, they planned on corralling the masses. In my opinion.
Hi, which, like, come on. And listen to this podcast clip.
This guy, Curtis Yarvin, who's written about some of these things. And I'm sympathetic to that project. We should fire every civil servant in the administrative state, replace them with our people.
Our people. That means their people. Your people.
Our people. And now they are saying it out loud that they are hiring people they're hiring people who take a pledge to 4547 and his agenda. Fast forward, 6 months. And this is what's going on. But you had niggas out here telling you why it was good to vote for 4547. You had people out here, Black people out here, espousing the greatness of somebody who is so derelict in his duties that he will pass it off to these people. And you were warned. Ronnie Q, she's over there. She's all scared. You ought to be scared. And I see that none of these motherfuckers who wanted to come up on my link and try to dog out Harris have never come over here and hit the link and argued why this person who they were championing during the election, none of them have came over here and hit this link now that they're living under this. But hey, it's just getting started. Let's continue.
People. So yeah, it looks like this guy has a lot of influence, and he's been the subject of a number of interviews and profiles from the mainstream liberal press, which is interesting. It's like the establishment is just desperate to blame the rise of Trump 2.0 and the technocracy on something. But here's the thing. The technocracy doesn't need Curtis Yarvin to do what it's been doing. Our current system, where formerly public services are privatized and monopolized by tech companies, where mad philosopher king billionaire CEOs seize control over government processes, profit off war and a veneer of patriotism.
Special thanks to our sponsor, Palantir.
And far-right tyrants literally own towns. This is all already happening as part of our current system. It's just the natural evolution of a venture capital, profit-driven Silicon Valley and its power over Washington. Curtis Yarvin tells tech CEOs that they deserve more of your wealth transferred to them and that they're the only people competent enough to run the world. He just adds a veneer of philosophy over it and they eat it up. They want to seem smart and make it seem like there's a reason they're doing all of this beyond just enriching themselves. In exchange, Peter Thiel gives him money. J.D. Vance calls him cool, and he's generally made to feel like a very special boy.
Okay, so there's that. The link is in my description box. Viewers View, thank you for becoming a member. I just wanted to go over a few little things today. I think that we need to keep our eye on. You see the number scrolling across my screen since they're in this what is this votorama about this big busted ass bill. You may want to Elon Musk said that he is going to get people to primary anybody who votes for the bill because it's so horrible and people are going to lose their jobs and then and unfortunately it's not like when I was taking their jobs. You know, it's unfair that anybody else would be able to take people's jobs. Is a bunch of bullshit. He says he's going to Elon Musk doesn't have the power. Wisconsin showed Elon Musk he does not have the power to predict every election. You have the power, and you need to let these dumb motherfuckers up in Washington who knows that this bill is going to fuck the American people, that you know that the power lies within you. And call and if you hey, this is just a novel idea. Do with it as you will. If your senator is a Democrat senator who is not going to vote on it, maybe you can call some of these Republican senators and remind them while they're being stroked and wooed by people who don't give a fuck about you and how you live your life. Maybe they need to be reminded that the power is within the people. But if the people don't use their voice, the number's right here on the screen. That's all I'm saying. Do with it as you will. Oh, speaking of motherfuckers who was talking all that good shit about 45, 47 and ain't got shit to say now. Anyway, let's continue. Here's another clip about Peter Thiel that you should alert yourself to. What Peter Thiel does not want you to see. Let me share this screen with you. You may know limited stuff about Peter Thiel, but he has a whole history out here. So Peter Thiel doesn't want you to see this clip. Tech billionaire says the quiet part out loud. Let's continue.
I want to play for you one of the most chilling clips I've ever heard. And just hold on and trust me, because it's not that chilling until you realize what it means.
The basic idea was that we could never win an election on getting certain things because we were in such a small minority. But maybe you could actually unilaterally change the world without having to constantly convince people and beg people and plead with people who are never going to agree with you through a technological means. And this is where I think technology is this incredible alternative to politics.
That's tech bill.
Okay, so you're not going to have to keep going to these peons to get election approval. Technology is going to be doing all the approval. Fuck these peons who are holding me back. I should be way far ahead. People should be paying attention to me because I'm so great. I am so smart. I know everything. Fuck society. He doesn't. Speaking of how he feels about society, in that interview that I played earlier, I haven't played the kabam of that interview yet. He is asked, What does he think if he thinks humanity should survive? In that interview that I played, that Peter Thiel did, I'm going to show you what he thinks about the survival of humanity. Let's finish this.
Billionaire and Republican megadonor Peter Thiel speaking at a Libertopia, a libertarian conference in 2010. He's basically saying that his political ideology is so unappealing that it'll never win elections. And that's one thing he's right about, because he's railed against women having the right to vote, complained so much about diversity, and written some really disgusting stuff about sexual assault and consent. But he knows that he can use technology as a unilateral alternative to politics, and that should really freak you out. Thiel is one of the co-founders and biggest investors in Palantir, a CIA-funded technology company that has contracts across the government for their data software. Here's their CFO speaking a few years ago.
We continue to advance our mission of becoming the U.S. government's central operating system as we extend our footprint across defense, healthcare, and civilian agencies.
And while both President Obama and
Defense and healthcare. Let's continue.
Biden did sign Palantir contracts, President Trump is taking it way further. There are new contracts with ICE, something literally called Immigration OS, and the IRS. So 15 years ago, Peter Thiel, like the supervillain in a movie explaining his plan to the hero, admitted that he can use technology to get his ideas across when they're unpopular, completely subverting democracy. And today, one of his technology companies is gaining more and more power within the government, building the very systems our government relies on. And oh yeah, this is the CEO.
The central risk to Palantir and America and the world is a regressive way of thinking that is corrupting and corroding our institutions, that calls itself progressive, but actually, and is called woke, but is actually a form of a thin pagan religion.
If you're a progressive, if you have progressive values,
you know how DEI became such a dirty, filthy word, idea, or action. All of your progressive thoughts and leanings have to be stomped down. Does it seem like it is happening? Are we here together? Let's continue.
Meaning you just, I don't know, care about other people. The CEO of the company building America's technological back end thinks of you as the central risk. He thinks of you as the enemy. Are these the people you want running the systems you rely on, or worse, the systems that surveil you?
Okay, so let me make sure I drop this link in my description box. I'm dropping them as we chit chat. So let me see if you guys have anything to add to this. Thank you for becoming a member Outspoken, and I appreciate the super chat. I don't think I set my goals, but I thank you for this super chat. So let me see. Let's see how Palantir was used over in Gaza. Let me share this with you. It was called Project Lavender. Project Lavender. I talked about this earlier when it was happening. Let's share.
If people don't know, Project Lavender is an extremely notorious and controversial project that the Israeli military has ongoing. It's basically an AI-powered targeting system. What that means is that Palantir provides the software, reportedly, that allows the Israeli military to use AI to generate gigantic kill lists of Palestinians and to avoid what they call human bottlenecks in targeting. What that means is basically every Palestinian in Gaza has been assigned a number between 1 and 100, and it's based on how likely you are to be a target to the Israeli military. And your score goes up, for example, if you are in a WhatsApp group with a known Hamas member, or you live in the same building as a Hamas member, or for example, you work as maybe an ambulance driver who goes to the scene of a lot of bombings and stuff, that will trigger your number to move up. And if it goes beyond a certain number, say 70, you are automatically put onto a kill list. That includes women and children as well. There was some studies that showed that Palantir had a 10% false positive rate on that. Apparently, the Israeli military really rely on this Project Lavender, and the human intervention in this is about 20 seconds just to check whether that person is indeed male, and that's all they do. And then they use AI to target these individuals with smart weapons and drone warfare, etc. If people don't know, Project Lavender is
Okay, let me give you one more on this. This is the CEO. I played this for you. He's sitting up there talking about the good things that Palantir has done, and a heckler approaches him, and he gets unnerved.
A few people get wealthy, and if you said platitudes that were obviously stupid, you could. Oh. Yeah. And well, if you do, you want to hear my answer? Okay. So, I think the primary cause of death to Palestinians. Okay. Do you want to hear the answer, or do you want to yell? Well, you don't want to hear an answer? Obviously. So the primary source of death in Palestine is the fact that Hamas has realized that there are millions and millions of useful idiots that will.
Can we get security up there?
Mostly terrorists. That's true. She believes I'm evil. I believe she's an unwitting product of an evil force, Hamas. That she unwittingly is part of their strategy. That she's
an unwilling product of Hamas, which means she would have been on the kill list. Understand what he's saying. Because what she said, she's an unwilling product of Hamas. She would have been on the kill list.
A product. And the most important thing, arguably, in the book, or what Palantir, or what you could learn, is do not become a product of an ideology that sounds sensible. That a few people get wealthy, and if you said platitude.
He just said it right there. Do not become a product of an ideology, which what he is. Let's not pretend that's not what he is. He creates the ideology. So he told you that she is a product of an ideology, and that would be Hamas, is what he's saying. And based upon how they rank people by numbers, she would be on a kill list. Let's not forget all the lists that the United States government have put people on. Let me give you one more.
You have a company like Palantir, which actually is cheering on the war. They held their board meeting in Israel a few months after the war started because the CEO said he wanted to embarrass other supporters of Israel to come forward and vocally.
The CEO, that was a man with the wiry hair who I just showed. Let's continue.
Support the war. And then their founder, Peter Thiel, his PR guy must be an idiot, but he had him in one of those things where he's got to answer questions from students in the UK. And so they asked him, how did he feel about the fact that their software is being used to speed up targeting against civilians in Gaza? He said, well, I don't really follow that so much. I mean, I sort of trust Israel to take care of that. I'm sure they're taking care. The only other person I've ever heard say something like that is Tony Blinken.
Mhm.
I mean, it's just, and he actually came from Westinghouse Advisors, which advises weapons companies, but they do it in such a way that they say they give strategic advice. They're not lobbyists, so they don't have to report a lot of things. The more you scratch the surface, many of these people are benefiting. We did a piece on what happens to 4 and 5-star generals and admirals when they leave the government. 80% of them went into the weapons industry.
80%.
Yeah, and as a general, maybe you make 200,000 with a bunch of perks, which is a lot of money. If you go to Lockheed Martin, you can make 200,000 to go to 4 meetings a year.
Mm.
And if you go to one of these tech companies investing in like Palantir, if you hit it big, you could make millions. So a lot of these folks, while they're in government, they're aware where they want to end up. So they don't want to mess with these firms because this is how they're going to cash in, to work with these folks.
And then on the other end of it, once you graduate from some of these firms and make a lot of money and establish yourself, then as you've documented in Prophets of War, there are also avenues to get back into government.
Yes, it's like a spin cycle. Like James Mattis, who came in to the Trump administration, came from the Board of General Dynamics. When he left, he went back to the Board of General Dynamics. They've kind of so rationalized it that they just feel like, well, I'm doing the right thing, and the fact that I'm making money is secondary. You have a company like Palantir, which actually is cheering on the war.
I wanted to give you that information. I don't think that enough people are aware of this. So, good morning, DC Kool-Aid, Grand Rising. Welcome, everyone. Hey, Choreo Lover, Grand Rising to you as well. Now, the reason I wanted to share this with you is because of what that Supreme Court means for the Constitution, for 4547 overstepping the Constitution, and this ruling that the Supreme Court gave, that there can be no unanimous injunctions about the illegal executive orders that 4547 put into place. He likes to govern via executive orders. So when you think it's not for you, when you think it's not about you, kind of like some of the Cubans thought that, oh no, it's about the Mexicans and it's about the Venezuelans. It's not about me. Yeah, it's about everybody. When you have a person in power that is overstepping the Constitution, he don't give a fuck about nothing. And this Supreme Court, in my opinion, is allowing it. So I named this, I titled my video, that is a quote from Justice Sonia Sotomayor, and what she thought that this ruling meant, that there is nothing. What did she say? No rights is safe in the new legal regime the court creates. So she is saying that the Supreme Court is creating a new legal regime and no rights are safe. So let me share some more about the response of the justices who did not go along with the Supreme Court ruling. Now, they haven't outright said that birthright citizenship will be taken away, but they did say that there can be no national injunction if each individual who wants to challenge it has to create their own court case. But not so with what is it? Mexaprexin, which they call the abortion drug in Biden's administration when they had so many federal injunctions. But Mexaprexone, the abortion drug, they put a injunction over it nationwide when they judge shop and went to a judge in Texas, and they presented this as the abortion drug. But the Supreme Court said nothing. I guess nobody bothered to take it. I don't know. I don't think it even went to the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court can deny cases, but they decided to take on this and not even rule on if this executive order was even legal. So they'll take it up next year, and it usually take a year if it goes through the court as planned. They'll take it up next session. So you can it could be up to a year before if this is proven to be unconstitutional, or if they're going to let him do it. So in the meantime, what that means is he can do it in the meantime. So if he wants to put his executive order into action, there's nothing you can do about it but sue. And let's see what the sentence
that halted his plans to end automatic birthright citizenship. In a decision steeped in historical analysis, the majority argued in part that because nationwide injunctions did not exist in the High Court of Chancery in England at the time of this nation's founding, lower courts had overstepped in blocking Trump's executive order. You'll remember, of course, we fought an entire war.
Now, they based upon Amy Coney Barrett was the one who wrote this opinion. Amy Coney Barrett is supposed to be some constitutional law professor dating way back to England. Who gives a fuck about what they were doing in England? And she said because they weren't doing this in England, the United States overstepped their bounds in America. But the United States was fighting to get from under England's rule. But this bitch took this shit way back to England to make this decision, to try to justify this decision. Understand what is written here. Let's go back a little bit.
In a decision steeped in historical analysis, the majority argued in part that because nationwide injunctions did not exist in the High Court of Chancery in England at the time of this nation's founding, lower courts had overstepped in blocking Trump's executive order. You'll remember, of course, we fought an entire war to be able to make our own rules and laws. Notably, the court did not rule on the constitutionality of Trump's move to end birthright citizenship. But in a scathing opinion, Justice Sonia Sotomayor writes, quote, "The gamesmanship in this request is apparent, and the government makes no attempt to hide it. Yet shamefully, this court plays along because I will not be complicit in so grave an attack on our system of law. I dissent." Trump's executive order is now set to take effect in 30 days. Lower courts are already taking action, setting deadlines for amended complaints to comply with the Supreme Court's new ruling. Joining us now to get into it is Michelle Goodwin, professor of law at Georgetown University and host of On the Issues at Ms. Magazine, and Mark Joseph Stern, senior writer at Slate. Michelle, I want to start with you because it doesn't seem like we got a lot of information in how this is actually supposed to work. What is the roadmap for folks as we move forward over this next 30 days and beyond?
Well, it's a bit of chaos, and unfortunately, we heard in oral arguments just what's at stake, which would mean that all across the country, individuals who are affected by this would have to secure a lawyer. Many of these people are probably going to be vulnerable in some sense, economically vulnerable to ICE, et cetera, to end up defending themselves against this executive order. There's also the tragedy that we've seen in other instances that have paved the way by anti-abortion states, where they have law enforcement willing to go into hospitals and maternity wards. Might we end up seeing ICE in those spaces as well? What has been unleashed is a chaos that is absolutely hypocritical, because this very same Supreme Court during the Biden administration was willing to entertain nationwide injunctions against the Biden administration over and over again without seeing that there be any problem. And one last thing I'd like to add to this, in this opinion, what the court talks about is equity. What could be more equitable than thinking about a person's belonging, their citizenship, and their personhood here in the United States? This really is a travesty.
Mark, help me. I'm still deep in the weeds here, trying to understand the practical effect of what the Supreme Court did yesterday. So after the 30 days is over.
Okay, so if you want to get out of the weeds with Jonathan Capar, go over, the link is in my description box. And I just wanted to give you guys some information. Nothing is done in a bubble, and understand if it can happen to others, it can definitely happen to us. So I just wanted to give you some information. I wanted you to have some awareness about these little words that they say in the media, Palantir, and they give you no information on the mindsets of the people who are creating these systems and your importance in the world to them. Wait a minute, did I let me make sure I played the clip about what he thinks about humanity. I think I did play it. I think I played it. Let me play it one more time. Here we go. Yes, I did play it. I'll play it one more time about what Peter Thiel thinks about humanity.
With Peter Thiel because I'm a sick person. And there's one clip that's been going around. And in case you guys haven't had this, just the experience of being able to listen to this moment, I want to share it with all of you.
You would prefer the human race to endure, right? You're hesitating.
Yeah, well,
yes.
I don't know. I would.
This is a long hesitation. This is a long hesitation.
There's so many questions implicit
Should
in this.
the human race survive?
Yeah.
Some really hard-hitting journalism from Ross Douthat.
He wanted to say no about this is not showing. That's all I have for you today. They're trying to push this bill through. It's going to hurt a lot of people, and I think I have your the line so you can dial any senator who is agreeing to vote on this nasty piece of work that Mitch McDonald. What is this? Mitch O'Connell said. What is his name? He said that if you guys have a lot of your constituents getting on you about people being thrown off of Medicaid, they're just going to have to get used to it. So And if you're not on Medicaid, what you're going to have to get used to is you're going to have to get used to some of your rural hospitals closing. You're going to have to get used to the influx of people with no more Medicaid using hospitals and emergency units as primary care physician. You're going to have to probably get used to some of your family members who have lost their Medicaid from getting to start getting sicker because they are not under a regimen of medication that they need that they could get from a primary care physician. A ER gives you days or tops 2 weeks of medication. So get used. May have to get used to some of your people who have illnesses that are under control, becoming chronic and dying from their illnesses. Okay, so and you also, if you think that none of that matters to you, and because you have your own health insurance, get used to your health insurance bill rising, because they're going to have to get that money from somewhere. All of these broke motherfuckers going to the ER. Who do you think gonna take in the influx of that money that is needed to treat these people, to not treat them, to bandage them up enough to say that they gave them treatment and throw them out on the street? Who do you think gonna pay these exorbitant emergency room bills? You are, motherfuckers. Everyone is. So that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you. Hey, Candy Cane. Hey, Lue. If I didn't speak, it is good to see you guys. All of my links are in the description box. And yes, you can feel free to tip the host. And I am back, and I am trying to just talk about a couple of things. Keep it short and sweet. Hold on one second. So that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you guys have a great remainder of your day. I appreciate you coming over and spending a little time with me this morning. Let me see. Let me see. I messed up my banner. Let me see if I can add this banner from copying from Choreo. Let me see. Call your senator or call a senator and tell them, hey, don't vote on this bill or we will vote you out of office. All right, guys. I hope you guys have a great day. Let me see. Okay. Hold on one second. Let me see if my banner is working. Let me see. Well, it's in the wrong place, but it's there. Thank you, Choreo. All right, guys. I hope you guys have a great remainder of your day, and I'm out of here. Bye-bye.